Okay, so we got to our next destination, 7-hour travel day, but that is not the story of the day, right? So as we were leaving the KOA in South Padre Island, there was a palm tree. We thought we had it cleared, and we hit it. So our back end actually came off a little bit. So we're about to see what the damage looks like from the inside. I'll show you guys the outside, and I'm about to take all this apart and fix it. So after 4 years, I mean, it's still make mistakes. Things still happen. So you can't afford to put it in the shop because we're not going to do that. So I'm gonna fix it myself. So here's what this looks like. So we hit the tree. Luckily it didn't hit the mirror or the window, and it came off of that. So I've looked at it. I think I can take all this trim off on the bottom and the top. There's screws in there, and I think I can suck it back in. I'm about to see what it looks like from the inside. We have that bench there. I would imagine that whole right side has got to be replaced, but I'm about to find out. Okay, so let's see the back right corner. Well, the bench stayed. The bench stayed exactly where it was. Yep, so you can see where it came apart. But the bench, there's nothing wrong with the bench. And that is probably because I didn't drill it into the back wall. I drilled it onto the floor, and the floor didn't move. So, but as you can see, you know, if I took this trim off, but yeah, nothing at all is wrong with the bench, but you can see how it's gapped. So that's a lot better than I thought it was going to be in here. But I think once I take that trim off, I should be able to just suck it back in. I'll have to re-caulk everything, re-seal it. But to be quite honest with you,
you don't think it affected this up here either?
No, because it didn't go that far up. It didn't even break the trim. It only goes to about like right here. Nothing up top. About the top half of the RV from middle to top didn't get affected. So that's actually a positive. So that's
because we caught it.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately.
Luckily our neighbors were outside saying bye, because I was at the front of the truck trying to watch the front
we thought
end.
We had it, but
and we weren't even worried about the damn palm tree.
It's a very tight,
but our neighbors
spot.
were out there telling us bye, and they screamed, "Stop!"
Yeah, so
and
it is what it is, man.
Or we probably would have ripped the whole freaking
Like I said,
thing off.
after 4 years, you still make stupid mistakes.
Oh my God! Happy 4-year no anniversary.
Hey,
guys.
self-inflicted. So yeah, it is what it is. But now we got to fix it. But it's not near as bad as I thought. I mean, once I take the trim off and stuff.
Optimist.
Well, I think I can fix it. So we're gonna do that. She's opening the slide up, and this under here, it just ripped it out from behind this sill. So this thing shifts over. It obviously dented this, and then this whole piece has to come sucked back in. All right, so I had to take off that and the bottom one, and then there was some, some screws that went in here. You can see the gap, but I'm able to, there's stuff stuck down there, but I'm able to just push it back. And so I should be able just to push this back up, drill a new hole from where it was back into the frame, and it should suck right up. Same thing with the bottom, there's just one right in the middle. Yeah, so it looks like there's just the 2 screws and then the one on the bottom. Once we get everything that fell back there, I'll be able to push it back together, and then I'll re-drill those back into a new spot into the frame. to suck it back together. And then once I do that, I can put the moldings or the trims back on and reseal them and all that good stuff. Like I said, fortunately it didn't do anything to the inside, but it looks like it, to be quite honest, I mean, yeah, it sucks, but it doesn't look like it can't be put back together. So it was exactly what I thought. I was able to just re-drill the holes where the screws were, sucked right in. It is snug as it can get. No daylight from the inside. I'm working on the trim. I'm not gonna be able to put that big trim on. I gotta go get some sealant and stuff like that before I do that. But problem solved. It really wasn't that bad at all. Took me a couple hours. But yeah. All right, so I'm on the final touches of getting this thing back together. I was able to get it back in. I straightened up the fender a little bit. I mean, it had some dents in it, so it kind of looks a little rocky, but it's straight. Now what I'm doing is, so this is the piece. It's got the butanol tape in it. I think that's how you say it. I got to scrape all this out. I'll put a new strip in it, and then put it back on and seal it up. We've got this all cleaned up. It's all put back together. Got all the old sealant off of it. And what I'm going to do now is I got some RV tape, waterproof tape. This is the 2-inch. I'm just going to cover this seam on both sides all the way up. And then my trim piece, I'll put that butanol tape in that trim and put it back together. I got to let this sit. It says for 24 hours before I can do that. So I'm going to put this on first, let it sit overnight, and then go from there. This tape just wraps around, and then the thing will go over the top of it, and this is just keeping an extra, that's just an extra layer of waterproofness. So looks like it's going pretty well. This will go so I'll be able to push that up. You can see the tape a little bit, but I'm going to put some sealer there anyways. And once it's all the way on, I might be able to trim that tape to get it to hide a little bit more. But hey, as long as it's waterproof, that's really all I care about. You can see a little bit of the tape. It's not preferred, but I'll get it cleaned up. So I had to wait a couple days to get a few things in to finish the repair on the back. I got some, I call it butanol. I don't know how you say it, but whatever. It's just a seal, so I've got the watertight tape on it, and then I'm also going to put this in the seams of each one, so I cleaned it off as best I could. I'm going to put that on there, and then I'm going to screw it back together. Once that's done, I got some clear Dicor. I'm just going to run beads down to seal the outsides of it, and then let it sit for a few days, and we should be good to go. I'm just taking it and running it in this little seam that it has all the way down. So now I'm just going to put the bottom on first, and then the side. Back at it this evening. I'm having to do these in spurts, but everything is done. I actually went ahead and fixed this so it lines up with how it should. It's all snug all the way down. It is tight. So now what I'm actually doing is taking is cutting this tape, that waterproof tape that was under, and then trying to pick it off the best I can before I seal it. If I was sealing it with white, I wouldn't care, but I'm just going to do clear. So I've got to get that as pretty as I can. So that's the tedious part of this. It's probably going to take me a minute to do that. But once I do that, I'll just put, you know, beads of the Dicor all the way down and just seal it all the way back up. Underneath, I got some black spray foam that I'll just seal. I pulled down one of those pieces of plastic that's just covering some wiring. So I'll take that, I'll fill out all those gaps up. Just finished picking off all that water, the tape that I put on that came through. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, there are some scratches. That side panel's a little dented up. But ultimately, I mean, it's exactly where it was. It lined up with where the old caulking was. So besides some scratches, some nicks, I'm gonna try to clean that up the best I can. But other than that, I think, you know, it went together pretty easily. We were pretty fortunate that it was able to be fixed and not have to be taken to a shop. Obviously, it would have probably been better at a shop. Sorry, there's lawnmowers. But yeah, obviously taking it to a shop would have been a lot better. They would have done it way better. I'm not an RV tech. I don't claim to be. But it's back on. It's watertight, hopefully, right? I went a little extra on it, so just in case. I'm just gonna take a rag. I don't want to get it too wet yet because I haven't put the Dicor on it, but I need to get it, you know, as clean as I can to put that sealer on. You see, like, you know, stuff's coming off, so I think it'll look a lot better. I mean, there's definitely some scratches and scuffs on it and on the side, but I think once I get it wiped down and caulked, it'll be good. But it does look a lot better once I was able to wipe it down. I'm onto the ceiling, and I'm using a Dicor clear, non-self-leveling. This stuff is just good for really anything RV related. I've used it. I usually use the white because of the roof, but I had to get clear because where I'm putting it. So this is what I'm using. I just ran beads all the way down, covered the roof where I came off. I'm gonna let this set up and dry. I'll come out and clean up what I need to clean up, and then see if there's any gaps or anything like that. So that is my fixing my mistake video. So it wasn't that hard. Don't hit a tree, obviously, but it happened. So we're done. We'll give it a few days to set up before we actually can wash the rig, because that needs to be done ASAP. But it's got to cure. That Dicor I put on there's got to cure. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you learned something, I'm sure someone else knows how to do it better than me, which is fine, but I did it my way and it worked. So if you got any questions, let me know. If this ever happens to you, maybe this will help you. Hopefully it never happens to you. Just watch out, and we'll see you next week. Peace.